Is the new CX-70 Mazda's best SUV, better than the CX-50 and CX-90? That's what we're going to find out. Welcome to Car Help Corner, where we help you, the consumer, master the process of car buying and car ownership. Mazda has just unveiled its highly anticipated CX-70, and if you were eyeing a Mazda but felt that the CX-5 and CX-50 is just too small, but you don't really need the space of the larger CX-90, well, this could be the perfect answer. The CX-70 is a mid-sized SUV, similar to the CX-60 that Mazda already sells in many countries, but it is a little bit bigger, and it shares the same platform with the larger CX-90. Now, if you've been waiting a while for the CX-70 and were hoping for a more unique, sleeker, and sportier design than the CX-90, well, you might be a little bit disappointed. It basically looks exactly the same as the CX-60 and the CX-90, and has the same wheelbase and overall length. All Mazda has basically done here is remove the third row seats from the CX-90, and they're now calling it a CX-70. And because there's no third row of seats, the CX-90 has a very large cargo area. Exact dimensions have not been released yet, but it is safe to say that the CX-70 is going to be a lot more spacious than the smaller CX-50 and CX-5, making this a better choice for families and all their stuff. I also like how the CX-70 allows you to fold the back seats quickly at the push of a button, and how they also added some storage space underneath the cargo floor, although whether this eliminates the spare tire, we're not really sure yet. Now, we don't have all the details on the drivetrains quite yet, but it is safe to assume that the CX-70 is going to have the exact same options as the larger CX-90. That means you get a choice of either a 6-cylinder engine or a 4-cylinder plug-in hybrid. Both engines will come with a conventional 8-speed automatic transmission, so no CVT or dual clutch here, thankfully, and all-wheel drive should be standard on all versions. The 6-cylinder engine should be the ideal choice for those who want to have really strong performance. It's a relatively large displacement 3.3-liter inline 6 that's turbocharged, and it should produce between 280 to 340 horsepower and up to 369 pound-feet of torque. On the CX-90, the higher trims have the more powerful tune, which should be the same case with the CX-70, and this engine is able to run on either regular or premium fuel. It also has an impressive towing capacity of up to 5,000 pounds, which is really great to see. Overall, I really like this engine when I tested it in the CX-90. It's incredibly powerful, it's very quiet, and it's buttery smooth, which is something that inline 6-cylinder engines are really well known for when compared to a V6. Now, for those who want the best fuel economy possible, you'll also be able to get the CX-70 as a plug-in hybrid. This will use Mazda's well-proven Skyactiv-G 2.5-liter naturally aspirated 4-cylinder engine, matched to an electric motor and hybrid battery. When it's fully charged, it should be able to travel around 25 to 30 miles, or around 40 to 50 kilometers on electric power, after which it'll just switch to regular hybrid mode with the gas engine on. Now, I tested this plug-in hybrid system on the CX-90, and I actually prefer it to the inline 6-cylinder engine for a few reasons. For one thing, it makes similar power, around 323 horsepower and 369 pound-feet of torque, so it isn't lacking for performance. I like how efficient it can be when you charge it on a regular basis, and I like how in many ways, it's mechanically more straightforward and more well-proven than the inline 6. The Skyactiv-G 2.5-liter engine has been around for over a decade now. It has proven reliability and should provide plenty of peace of mind. Unlike the inline 6-cylinder engine, which is relatively new and doesn't have much of a track record, and is also relatively complicated and can be more expensive to service in the long run. Mazda was really aiming for something like a BMW or Mercedes with this engine, and it really is closer in design to those vehicles than it is to a traditional Mazda. But then on the other hand, Mazda's reputation for reliability has been extremely good, and I would be willing to give it the benefit of the doubt. Next to the additional interior space and cargo space, the drivetrains are really what differentiate the CX-70 from the smaller CX-5 and CX-50. Both of those SUVs can only be had with Mazda's traditional but well-proven 4-cylinder engines. There are no 6-cylinder or hybrid options available. Mazda is supposed to be offering a Toyota hybrid option on the CX-50 soon, but no details have been released yet. For now, if you really want to have a hybrid, the CX-70 is the way to go. The interior of the CX-70 appears to be more or less identical to that of the CX-90, which is a very good thing. This is a surprisingly luxurious space, with excellent materials and plenty of nice color options that you can choose from. Mazda has become well known for coming very close or sometimes even matching the luxury of far more expensive brands like Acura, Lexus, and BMW. But of course, they're nowhere near as expensive to buy, so in that way, they do offer really good value. Technology should be very similar to that of the CX-90, with straightforward climate controls, a digital driver display, and a nice infotainment system that's controlled using a rotary dial. One addition that Mazda has made for the CX-70 is that it will offer voice commands using Amazon Alexa, which is a nice feature to have. Now, Mazda has not released any pricing details on the CX-70 quite yet, but it is safe to say that the pricing will be closer to the larger CX-90 than the smaller CX-50. So my best guess is that it's going to start in the high $30,000 range and maybe go into the low 50s in the US. And it's probably going to start in the low 40s and get up to around $60,000 in Canada. The CX-70 will be available at dealers in the spring. Now, I think this is one SUV that is going to be a huge hit. Mazda has become extremely well known for making really high quality, reliable vehicles that also have really high safety ratings, and they also offer excellent value for the money. I've spoken to many consumers who love the CX-5 and the CX-50, but just find it to be a bit too small. They do just about everything extremely well, and really are two of my favorite SUVs and top recommendations. But for taller drivers, and for those who need a lot of passenger space and cargo space, they just don't cut it. And on the flip side, you have the CX-90, which is just too much SUV for some. Not everyone needs a 7-passenger, 3-row SUV. So for them, a CX-70 is going to be the perfect fit. Although I do wish that Mazda tried a little bit more to differentiate the styling from the CX-60 and the CX-90, making it maybe a bit sleeker. I still think that this is a very stylish, upscale looking SUV. It should be very nice to drive, and Mazdas are known for their sporty feel and excellent handling. I like that you have a choice of either a 4-cylinder plug-in hybrid or a powerful 6-cylinder engine for those who want it. And I really like the stylish, luxurious feeling interior. There is definitely a lot going for this one, and I can't wait to test drive it in the really near future and tell you what I think. But in the meantime, let me know what you think of the CX-70. Is this an SUV that you could see yourself buying, or would you go for something else instead? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe. You can also check out my other videos by clicking these links over here. Make sure to follow me on Instagram. And if you need additional car buying advice, recommendations, or help with getting a great deal on your next new car purchase, make sure to visit carhelpcan.com. Thanks so much for watching, and see you next time.